Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Freed, star-studded panel as always. Good morning, everyone. There's Harry Glanz on the show. Good morning, Harry.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Harvey. What a beautiful day it's starting out. Hopefully Mother's Day weekend for everybody is going to be a solid one, right?
I love that for sure. Definitely sun always comes out when our show kicks on. Got John Kolb out there up north, somewhere in the middle of the state. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Great to see you all, and happy Saturday.
We always let you bring on one of these wonderful guests, ReMax Kyle Lang, one of the top agents, ReMax Dream Properties. Hey, Kyle Lang, always great to have you on.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Hey, John, he called me Kyle Busch again yesterday on the phone.
No, did I really? I just like rolls
Yes.
out. I got to stop watching my stock car stuff. But anyways, Kyle Lang, one of the great real estate agents out there, out of the North Philly. But Kyle, you're also an assistant coach of Adrian, and we do our mortgage real estate show on a sports station here. Did you guys win some sort of hockey tournament? What happened over there?
Yeah, we did. Yep, we were fortunate enough. We won the ACHA Division I National Championship. It'll be 3 weeks ago this coming Tuesday. So
that's
nice.
Huge. Yeah. Congratulations to Adrian Hockey out there. And you don't even hear about half these things, all the good stuff in the state. But I'll tell you, there's a lot to share with you, and we're going to share 1 hour of mortgage and real estate talk with you. That's for sure. John Kolb, these interest rates are still hovering around historical lows. So we're excited to bring you news about mortgages and refinances. And Harry Glanz, you and I got to talk about purchases all morning long. We got a lot of different angles to cover. People are overbidding on these houses. Kyle, this inventory is putting a huge impact and stress on a lot of buyers out there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely it's ultra competitive right now. I've actually got a listing that I've had on the market for like 8 days, and I'm starting to wonder what the heck's wrong with me because I'm used to everything going, in less than 48 hours. But it's definitely competitive if you're out there as a buyer.
Yeah, 8 days. Those days are gone. The average time in the market, I think, is down to 28 days with the supply here in Southeast Michigan at less than a month supply. Harry, this is, again, it puts a burden on us a little bit on the industry because, again, a lot of the borrowers out there overbidding, and now these appraisals are going to come into the true value, which is less than what the offer is.
Yeah, we used to see that once in a while, Harvey, in a great while, but now we're seeing it on over 50% of the purchase transactions that are coming in, people overbidding. We had Kyle and, of course, you and John on our podcast on Wednesday, and we were talking about that very fact. The fact that people, if you want to overbid, overpay, maybe to get in a house, the appraisal might come in low. Well, right now it's coming in over half the time it's coming in lower than the purchase price. So what do we do? Kyle? You got to come up with more money. That's what buyers have to understand. And I know Kyle always sets his buyers up, our borrower, for success and lets them know upfront what they have to do. But Harvey, you're absolutely right. People are overpaying. Property appraisals are coming in lower than the purchase price, and adjustments have to be made.
Yeah, I got lucky this week, and John Kolb, you'll tell us a couple of lucky stories you had. Overbid on a 199 listing. Our clients offered 220, and it came in at 219. They were ecstatic about it. They couldn't been happier. They thought they were going to bridge that gap. John Kolb, that's a lot of money for a young couple buying in that price range to bridge the gap. If it had come in, let's say at 210, and they're at 220, that's 10 grand extra. Now they only need to come out of pocket for 1,000 extra to make the deal happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's I don't understand why people are so surprised by this. I mean, it's one of those things where people are overbidding for homes, and you've got these appraisal guarantees out there. Of course, the appraisal is going to come in low. That's what the guarantee means, saying that we don't think it's going to appraise and we're still willing to pay for more. So as long as you're in that gap of that appraisal guarantee that you had, then you're winning. That's what you put the bid in that way for. Yeah, Harry and I did have some luck on rebutting it. But remember that rebuttal, Harry, that rebuttal was just to get us within the delta of the appraisal guarantee. So we came in way low, and the appraiser did not make some adjustments that he should have. There were some comps that were missed. We rebutted it successfully, got it up so that it was within that appraisal guarantee so that the people could move forward, and everybody was still very happy and things move on. So, the real problem out there, I think, is for first-time home buyers that don't have a plethora of money to put down. And I'd love to hear Kyle's opinion on what's the best way for a first-time home buyer to get an offer accepted, knowing that he is the professional on the buy side and also the list side. He's got knowledge on both ends of it to give us, could give our listeners an idea of what is going to happen if you're a first time home buyer and the best way to get offers accepted.
Yeah. So I mean, the big thing is like we talked about, if you can, we got to come up with as much of an appraisal guarantee as you can. And I don't know about you guys, but I remember in the past, right? All these buyers, I only have this much money. I only have this much money. They're able to dig a little bit deeper now because they know how competitive this market is, and it's bringing out that extra cash that they have. Short inspection windows. If you can keep them at 3 days or less, just so those sellers know, hey, you can be in and out of with that inspection. There's even some people that are saying, hey, listen, we want to do our inspection. It's going to be an information only inspection. And actually, I had an inspector explain it to me really good the other day. He said, historically, there's this preconceived notion that the inspection is a time where you can go and, oh, well, we're going to use this to renegotiate. That's not what you need to do here. You need to understand what you're getting into with the home. And then you also need to verify that what the sellers filled out on their seller's disclosure statement is in fact correct. Sorry, go ahead, Harry.
Oh, no. I was waving the Harvey, but anyways, yeah, you're absolutely right, Kyle. It's a yes or no inspection now. We're going to stay in the deal no matter what, or we're going to get out of the deal. There's no negotiating anymore on an inspection if you want it that way. And you have a choice if you want it that way. So if we always say, Kyle, and you're part of this, I think you are, that we would never in our right minds tell anybody they should waive an inspection. However, if you do a pass-fail inspection, you don't have the right to negotiate. There's my dog, of course. Right to negotiate anything. It's a pass-fail. Either we're going forward or we're not going forward.
Hey, Kyle, the days of the listing agents going in and telling the seller, hey, look, we're going to spend some money on repainting some rooms here. We're going to redo the floors and the countertops and spending a lot of money and all these things and maybe even staging a house. Now, you know what? Let's spend $350 and do an inspection on our house. As a seller, you can turn over that inspection. You just solve that problem and you can keep everyone out of the house. It could be a licensed inspector from the neighborhood. It can cost you more than $350, $400, and you could turn that over. Also, a great idea for all the sellers out there if you don't want people going through the properties. Hey, Kyle, I'm going to ask you before we go to break, is there any doubt, though, there's some people COVID scared? Is there any chance that our inventory is going to change? Because I'll tell you, the experts say the inventory is going to be down for the next year.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think we're still going to see effects of COVID just in our world as a whole through the end of at least 2021. So I can't see it getting any better where there's going to be a huge boom of inventory coming in the near future.
Yeah, the number one factor out there, it always is supply and demand. It sort of dictates what our industry and things that are going on in our industry now. And the supply, again, here in Southeast Michigan, less than 1 month. Hey, you're listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We'll take all your calls here live in the studio for an hour, 248-539-9797. We're going to have Pat Caputo coming up with sports and social commentary, sports all afternoon here on 97.1. I'll give you the lineup once I find out exactly what we got set up. But I'll tell you, a gorgeous springtime. And if you need that pre-approval, call Capital Mortgage Funding. I'll tell you, I love this time of year. Again, a little bit of rain at night's not going to hurt us. The daffodils they're out there. Absolutely gorgeous spring. You're seeing the flowers pop everywhere. And of course, sunny, warmer days just around the corner. Keep it here on 97.1. And again, we will take your calls at 248-539-9797. Are we going to go to break? All right, let's go to one. We'll get things started here right after this break. Looking forward to all your calls.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Cool. Welcome back to the show. All right, 9:15. Gorgeous day out there. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, NMLS 2289, equal housing lender. That's where you can find all of us all week long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Again, locally here, Capital Mortgage Funding. Get that strong approval letter. Deal with real professionals. I'm telling you, Harry's got to pull me back, Harry. I say it's going to be the Hardcore Mortgage Show. I'm going to start telling people the truth out there, what's going on. Hey, Kyle, you know what? If your real estate agent isn't as good as you, then you got the wrong agent. That's a fact. I've read some strange addendums. I told you yesterday I was going to take a picture of one and send it to you. I'm not even sure if it's in the Queen's English. It's in someone's English, but it was like literally not very vague. Let's just say this, very vague. In today's market, appraisal guarantees, some of the offices have taken the extra step, Kyle, I think ReMax has, where they've already got like a formatted document where you can put in some minimal appraisals and appraisal guarantees and some language in there, because the folks that are making up their own, it's just not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think the safest language and the one that I like to use is just a buyer agrees to pay X amount of dollars above the appraised price, not to exceed whatever the agreed upon purchase price is. It's that simple, right? It's about 2 sentences long. Throw it on an addendum. Everyone signs it, and you're good to go. And we had spoken. I don't know if it was Harry or John mentioned earlier. We don't think this house is going to appraise. I'm writing appraisal guarantees on properties sometimes that I have no doubt they're going to appraise where we're at. But unfortunately, it's the world that you're living right now. You have to do it. It's almost the way I explain it to my buyers. It's a security blanket for the seller that they know, hey, if by chance, this appraiser can't find the value that we need him to, you're going to get X amount of dollars above the appraised price.
Kyle Lang, ReMax Dream Properties out in Northville. It's so great to have you on, as always. Great information. These are really important steps. Again, is it possible that you could be working with someone who's newer to the industry and they are very good? And I'm going to answer that. I'm going to say yes, Harry, especially if they have a good team behind them. I don't want to take away from some of the newer people in the industry, but if you're not writing these things properly, this is important stuff. You got to get your team and your higher ups in your office to make sure you're really protecting the buyers and sellers.
Well, I think it's important to have that team behind you. And I also think, Harvey, that whether you're new in the industry or you're a grizzled veteran in any industry, ask questions. Take people with you. If you don't know something, listen, this isn't high school where you have to be ashamed to raise your hand in front of 32 people in a class. We always say, get wise counsel. If you're a buyer on a house and you never purchased a house before, it doesn't hurt to have another set of eyes. Maybe get an attorney friend to take a look at the documents for you. These are legal documents that you need to see, and you need to get the proper perspective on, and you have to make sure you're not entering into a transaction that can come back and bite you. But Harvey, you're right. There are new people in the industry all the time. The biggest problem that anybody has with new people is they don't ask enough questions. That's the situation.
Get those right answers. Macomb County sales, by the way, guys, are up only 9.9%. That's crazy talk. Median price in Macomb County from last year is up 15.2%. You can't even buy a house in Livingston County. Forget about that, or Oakland County. The marketplace just doesn't have a lot of homes out there. You better dig in deep. John Kolb, here's what's going on. I wanted you to talk about our self-employed borrowers out there, John. It's a little bit more work. I'm setting these people up for success by meeting them now. And I'm talking about the self-employed borrowers who want to buy in 3 months or in 2 months. A lot of families out there, because of the pandemic, John, we know this, are self-employed friends, and they're very wealthy and they make lots of money and they're running businesses, but their income's different in 2020. And that's going to prevent a lot of them from qualifying for a mortgage in today's market.
Well, yes, it's no different than in all years past, right?
Okay.
Self-employed borrower is a person who sometimes will declare income and sometimes will not. And you know what? That's going to come down to figure out what you're going to be qualified for. The real nuance that is newer to us now is that all self-employed borrowers have to have profit and losses through this given year. So, if you haven't filed your tax returns for 2020 yet, which is coming up soon, then you got to do a profit and loss for all of 2020. And you're going to have to do one for the current year, 2021. And guess what? Your profit and loss can't just be on a pad of paper that you did at the bar while drinking a beer. It's going to have to also be backed up with bank statements showing that those deposits reflect what the profit and loss show. So, if you're an organized self-employed borrower and you're doing your books, then it should be pretty easy to print a profit and loss, and so that we can get some ideas of what's going on and give you upfront knowledge of what you're going to qualify, how it's going to go, and make sure that we're doing things the right way. It's just a little bit more homework on the front end, nothing terribly hard. So, you just got to get with somebody who knows what they're doing, which, there's that we're out there, but there's also the guys that don't know what they're doing out there.
Well, yeah, and that's what I wanted to add to that too. Is I know when I get someone that's self-employed, I'm giving them the John right away. Like you're not going to go, talk to someone that works at a Wolf of Wall Street call center and try to have them figure out what you make, make annually. You need to have someone that knows how to review these tax returns and can verify your income. Like self-employed as a real estate agent. So, I mean, I know for me, I've got to go to someone if I want to get a mortgage that knows what they're doing and how to put these things together.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Get more professionals involved in your life. Give us a call here. We'll get you set up. 248-539-9797. All right. Always a positive spin, Kyle. There's no doubt. If you wish to overpay in today's marketplace, okay, the people that overpaid last year and the year before that, they don't feel as if they overpaid, Kyle. The appreciation caught up with them. And again, isn't that what it really is? It's a roof over your head, and time will take care of that. There's no guarantee, as we used to say, every year that your house will go up in value. But with this lack of inventory, it's pretty likely that if homes continue to appreciate even at smaller levels, Kyle, let's say 5% versus over double digits we're experiencing, 5% on 200,000, that's okay. If you overpaid 10,000, you might have made it up just in your first 12 months.
100%. And the other thing that I'm looking at too is, so there's, the market will correct itself. When none of us have a crystal ball and we have no idea. It's going to happen though. It is going to happen. But the thing that I'm explaining to people is, and I work with a lot of people, Westland, Garden City, Livonia, when the market does correct itself, they are going to get hit the hardest and they're going to get hit first with that. So if you have equity in your house right now and you're living in those communities and this isn't where you want to live for the next 5-10 years, now's the time to look at and see, hey, how much can I get for my house? And it'll be okay to overpay a little bit for the next house, because when the market corrects, that next house in Howell, in Plymouth, in Northville, it's not going to get affected nearly as much as your Westland, Garden City, Livonia house is going to.
Yeah, Kyle, I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I am so sick of people texting me, calling me, telling me I'm not going to buy in this market. I'm not going to overpay. Hey, you've got a house to sell. You're going to oversell. So you're going to make it up. So you might as well take advantage of what you're going to get out of your house now. And yeah, you're going to overpay, but it's going to offset. Stop thinking only one-sided on this. You've got to think an asset to sell that's overvalued, as well as what you're going to buy is going to be overvalued. Think long-term goals here. And if you're going to be in this new home for 10, 12, 15 years, then guess what? Overpaying really doesn't mean that much anymore, because you're getting into something that you'll end up paying down on. If you sell it for a little bit less than what you bought it for this year, you had the experiences, the joy of getting into this new house, spreading your family out so that you're not on top of each other, and making sure that you're having fun in life and going forward the way that you want to go forward. Don't just limit yourself because you're one-sided on all this.
Yeah, or I tell people all the time, would you rather pay $1,800 a month for a house in a community that you absolutely love, or pay $1,300 a month for a house that you can't stand and you want to get the hell out of there?
Oh, that's the best thing, man. There's no doubt about that. Mr. Glantz.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit across the United States. And Kyle, John, you guys were absolutely hit the mark on this. Listen, the highest appreciation rates, and Harvey, I know you read this morning, Idaho, the state of Idaho is up 25%. Montana up almost 19%. Of course, Arizona is up 18%. All across the United States, there isn't one state in the 50 states that has seen a decline in appreciation. Can this continue forever, Kyle Lang, John Kolb, Harvey Freed? We know it can't. So all I'm saying is exactly what John and Kyle have been saying. All right. You got to take, if you're going to sell now, you're going to get it on the sell side. If you're going to buy now, you're going to pay on the buy side. So are you going to ever be able to balance the two out to where it's like buying a stock? You're never going to buy it at the lowest point. You're never going to sell it at the highest point. If it's a little in between, I think you've done pretty well.
248-539-9797. You got to tune to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. Again, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. Could deal with real professionals. We take the time check all those details. That's what it's all about. Quality of the details. Get your whole life set up. Don't have this thing blow up on you. Call the local guys right here. 1-800 low rate. The best mortgage banker. All right, quick break here. We come back. The Hardcore Mortgage Show at 248-539-9797. Keep it here.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800 low rate, the best mortgage banker.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. 9:29 here, gorgeous day in Southeast Michigan. Again, we do mortgages everywhere, anywhere in Michigan, across the United States. Call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800 low rate, the best mortgage banker. I'm Harvey Freed, Harry Glantz, John Cole from Capital Mortgage. Of course, today we bring on Kyle Lang, ReMax Dream Properties out in Northville, and like always, talking about mortgages and real estate, and really bringing things back to where families can really feel comfortable about it. And Amy, you're calling in. You're trying to buy a house and you don't want to overbid. I like that idea. Do not overpay. Tell us more, Amy.
I'm living somewhere right now, so I kind of have that on my side as I have the time, to try to find the right place. But
Right.
everything that I'm looking for in my price range, of course, is not in my price range because you end up paying 20 to 40 grand over, right? So I guess my question is, should I just hold off and wait for everything to level out?
Well, I hope not. John Kolb, you just mentioned that. I'll let Kyle jump in first.
Yeah, Amy, what areas are you looking in, if you don't mind me asking?
So I really love to be in Farmington, but I've now kind of like threw a dart in Farmington with this radius around it.
Okay.
Maybe on, the coast to Farmington, Novi, maybe Livonia, that type area.
And if you don't mind me, what budget are you looking in right now?
In the low to mid twos.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that's ultra competitive, and that's really ultra competitive in the Tri-County area. That's a pretty sweet spot because you have a lot of people that are either selling their first time house and looking to make that jump up, or some people as well that are downsizing, whatever. So it's ultra competitive. I would say, and I don't know if you've had this conversation yet or not, but maybe look and see if there's anything that's been on the market for a couple of weeks that you might be able to get some good value and good equity in. Something that might need a little bit of cosmetic work. I've got one that I'm thinking of in Livonia right now that was listed for like 195. I showed a couple weeks ago. Not a lot of work. I had some clients that they don't want to do anything at all besides move in, so it didn't work for them. But yeah, I mean, I think that might be a good avenue for you to look at, especially because you want to take advantage of how low these interest rates are right now.
Yeah, I know. That's my problem though. When I do look at something like that at the 195, I mean, I've looked at several, and I've even gone with a bid 10 grand over asking and don't even come close. You know what I mean? It's just getting really frustrating.
Yeah,
Because I don't feel like that person is getting 20, 30, 40 over, so.
The reality, Amy. Yeah, she's the reality, right, guys?
Well, yeah, but there's ways. I mean, Kyle's getting these offers accepted with $10,000 appraisal guarantees all day long. I mean, Amy, it really just comes down to making sure that you're dealing with somebody who knows how to make these offers. Talk to the listing agent. I am doing more and more phone calls with listing agents before an offer is even accepted.
Yes.
Just to make sure that they know how qualified the buyers are and how motivated they are to try to get them in. I've got agents like Kyle calling me up saying, "Hey, call this agent and just introduce yourself and talk to them about Amy and let them know what she's got going on and how that's the offer that we should be accepting." And I think that's a great way to work as a team with listing agents, buyers agents, to make sure that we're getting everybody done the right way. So nothing against the agent that you're working with, Amy. But yeah, you just got to make sure that the offers are being presented the right way. Communication. You can't just slap something on a piece of paper and email it over. Nowadays, you got to make sure you're doing the communication, the song and dance that goes along with it, so that you are, painting that picture of what a great buyer you're going to be. And that takes a whole team.
Yeah, I like that. Amy, I'm making a few more of those calls too. Where when the offer goes in, now the selling agent sends me the listing agent's phone number. Send a soft text over to him. Hey, I'm the lender on this transaction. If you have any questions, please reach out to me at any time, 24/7. If when you call your lender or your agent, they don't call you back quickly, that's a bad sign. That's not going to work in today's marketplace. Harry, would you like to comment on that?
Listen, it's very, very competitive out there right now. You need to have people on your team that are going to react to your needs. Everybody has to be reasonable and rational in this irrational time. But communication is the key. We talked about that all the time. You got to be able to communicate however anybody wants to communicate. Email, text, phone, carrier pigeon. You got to figure it out because this market is moving very fast.
Yeah, definitely. Amy, thanks for the call. A bit of discourse out there as the housing industry. There's more, very few homes, more buyers out there than sellers. And of course, that discourse causes a lot of stress on families. And we're hearing it right there on calls. And we've been talking about this obviously for the last, I'm going to say 8 months, because when they let everyone out last year to attack all these homes with the low interest rates, it started really May, June, July. And before you knew it, it was bidding wars, multiple bids. And we saw the inventory really go down from about 2 to 3 months, which was more on the low side. Hey, Cal, really going into 2020 before the pandemic, the inventory was already starting to get pretty low due to the low interest rates.
I just sent out an email to a few of my clients yesterday. this market, it's been pretty competitive for the last 5 years or so. Like the last 5 years, they've been saying the market's never been so high. The market's never been so high. It's just slowly, it's been trajectorying, its way up. And I sent an email out to some clients yesterday, like the market's even more crazy than it was when you bought this house 5 years ago, when you bought this house 4 years ago. But yeah, we've seen low inventory for probably the last, 24, 36 months, guys.
Yeah. I thought it was you great real estate agents out there just magically selling all these homes. You guys were doing such a great job. Please don't take I'm going to give you guys the credit. We'll give credit where credit's due. At the end of the day, if the house is sold, it takes a lot of team effort. John Cole.
Hey, you know what? It's about your team, and it's about the team of working with your realtors, your accountants, your financial advisors, even inter-office people. We got Becky Alley on the line right now, and she and I go back and forth every single day with just scenarios to try to help each other out about how things, the best way to proceed with clients, because that's just how we work and we work together. Becky, welcome. Glad to have you on the line.
What's up, Becky?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you're saying. Who you surround yourself with matters, especially in this market. And, like when we're looking at scenarios, John is going to look at something different than I am, and I'm going to look at something different than he is. And sometimes it's that talking it out that the answer, but sometimes you just need to put it together a little bit differently, because the end of the day, if the loan doesn't close, then we've done everyone a disservice, right? So our job is to do the best that we can to identify any kind of problem ahead of time. Now, there are going to be those buyer self-sabotagers. They don't know any better, right? We do this for a living. So we know that you're not supposed to go buy the Mercedes or the furniture for the house before you own it, right? But sometimes just, people just don't listen. They get excited. They want to move on. They want to put the cart before the horse. So our job is to kind of keep everyone in line from start to finish. And that's also where we preach over and over, getting with rock star agents like Kyle Lang make the difference. Because when you're in a competitive market and that offer, if that appraisal comes in low, he's already having that conversation with you ahead of time, so you know what to expect. John's having that conversation you ahead of time. Harvey's having that conversation. I'm having that conversation. So therefore, you're not walking the plank alone. It doesn't have to be scary in this market. It's actually pretty exciting.
Hey, Kyle, I'm glad she didn't say Harley Davidsons, because my clients, they just go and buy Harleys before closing. So they're good. The car is smart, but you can buy a Harley. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, no, knock on wood, I haven't had that happen lately. But no, I wanted to say that, who you surround yourself with matters. I put that on a lot of my Facebook posts. The agent that you work with matters. The agent that you work with matters. How many times, guys, do we see our offers get accepted because the listing agent has either worked with the buyer's agent in the past or has worked with you guys, the lenders, in the past, and they know it's going to be a smooth transaction? I totally get your friend just got their real estate license, try to help them out. But if you want this house, if you want to buy a house in a market like this, it's not always that simple.
Alrighty. Hey, give us a call, 248-539-9797. Whatever your price range, whatever your story, we want to hear from you. Sometimes we can give you that extra helpful tip that'll make your house transaction work out for you for the best. I'll tell you, the $1 million listings, you're seeing them. People are buying them up. Stock market's at all-time highs. People are getting this cryptocurrency going on. John Cole, the market has really jumped, even on the more expensive homes, the jumbo loans. And of course, Capital Mortgage Funding, Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, the king of all jumbo loans. We have the best fixed rate. Take advantage of today's fixed rates, low fixed rates on your jumbo loan, and get handled the way you should be handled, like a professional, like $1 million buyer. Call Capital 1-800-LOW rate. That's 1-800-569-7283. Kyle, people want more rooms. That's why these more expensive homes, they're larger. They have more office space. They have maybe, I'm going to keep the kids at home. We never know when the next pandemic or thing could come up, and I might need to hunker down here. And again, maybe families during the pandemic, how we saw some families merging together, grandparents a little on the older side, maybe they thought about moving into the house. So all of a sudden, these $1 million homes are starting to look pretty attractive.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't planning on going back to work. They're going to be working from home. They've been working from home for the last year and a half. They're going to continue to do so. So that's a big change that I don't think that's helping the real estate industry and helping us sell some of these more expensive homes. Is they need that space because they're going to be working from home now.
Mr. G.
Yeah, what this pandemic has taught us is to be more flexible, to try to be a little bit more adaptable, that people can really work. If you're in an industry, especially an electronic industry, you can really work from anywhere. So to your point is that people are either rearranging their space or they're looking for homes with new space that they can do the majority of everything within the confines of their own home. Now, everybody wants to go out and about, but if you can work from anywhere, you've had to listen, even if you're not selling your home, you've had to rearrange that closet and bookshelf and make a little home office and try to get some space and privacy to do your work. Other people are buying other new homes, and other people are just saying, hey, listen, I'm not going back in the office. As a matter of fact, office statistics right now are showing companies that had bigger office space are looking for smaller space and signing smaller leases, not the mega leases that they have had in the past.
The average down payment on a home purchase is 6% across the country. That's right. Many families still like to put 20% down, but we have programs to suit your needs, whether it be a USDA loan at zero down, a VA loan at zero down, FHA, 3.5, conventional loans at 3%. We've got the right mortgage for your situation. You might need that extra money if you're going to overpay on one of these homes. When we come back, Becky Alley's going to tell us a whole bunch about a whole bunch of products. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back.
Hi, Harry Glantz and Dan Burke from Capital Mortgage Funding. Over 30 years in the mortgage banking industry, hundreds of thousands of families served. Let us serve you. Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
All righty, welcome back to the show, 9:45. I say it's a gorgeous day outside. Hey, it's always a great day. 248-539-9797. We'll take your calls here on mortgages, real estate, and a whole lot more. After us, Pat Caputo, social commentary and sports. Jeff Rieger, then Tiger Baseball at 3 o'clock with Dan and Jim, most likely. 3:50. All right, we got it going here. I'm a huge Tiger fan. So again, I'll be tuning into the game. And Becky Ellie joins us here. Again, Becky, we went to the break real quick. And of course, let me re-mention that Kyle Lang's still on with ReMax. And Kyle, thanks for joining us. Kyle, we're just talking about all these ways we're going to get these buyers all approved. So it makes it really easy for all the top real estate agents out there. You guys know you can rely on Capital Mortgage. And as Harry mentioned in our break, Harry and I, we're at the office till 6:30 last night. I don't know, most every night till 7. So it's normal for us to be taking those extra calls. And Becky, some of these families need to know, hey, 3% down conventional, 5 and 10% down conventional. You can get in a house, and that way that extra 10 or 20,000, maybe you'll need that to overpay or overbid on that house.
I agree 1,000%. It is such a huge misconception out there that you have to have 20% down to buy a home. It's a fallacy. It's yesterday's news. I mean, if you're in, PMI is not the devil. Okay. If you have good scores and you're putting, let's just say 10% down, your PMI could be as low as $50, $30 a month, depending on what the situation is. And that $30 a month is going to keep 20, 10, 15, $1,000 in your pocket. You're buying a house. You have no idea what it's going to take to furnish this home. What are you going to do to paint it? Are you going to totally renovate it? So that money is well spent being reinvested in your home that is in an appreciating market. Let your biggest asset work for you. You do not have to liquefy all of your funds and dump it into a house when you can just let the asset work for you. I had a client just last week. We actually did a 15% down, no PMI. The rate is it's actually a little bit better than it was if it was 20% down. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. But
it did last week. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and it was a 15% rate, low twos. It was a win-win situation for him. And in order to do the no PMI, it was maybe a difference of $600 up front. It was literally peanuts in comparison to the additional $20,000 he would have had to put down to achieve that extra 5% down. It's just a no-brainer. If you're a veteran, we are huge on our boots on the ground veteran programs. It's 0% down. USDA also 0% down, but the home has to qualify for USDA. 0% down does not mean zero out of pocket, right? But it means that you don't have a down payment, but you're still going to have your closing costs and your prepaid. So, first time home buyers, the teacher next door, I feel like we take for granted because there's nothing out there that we really cannot do. So if there is a program out there that's going to suit your needs, the sooner you start the conversation, the better. The days, and Kyle can attest to this, of finding a house and then working backwards and then getting pre-approved are over, done. You have to be prepared. You have to know what your comfort zone is the payment. Now, if you have to go in $30,000 or $20,000 over or $10,000 over on a home, are you comfortable with that payment? If you're not, then you need to move on. You can't get crazy out there. There's a lot of noise, and we're here to educate you. I'm an advocate on, even if you don't want to use me, even if you don't want to use Capital Mortgage Funding, I will still look at whatever offer you have. I will give you my honest opinion. I have nothing to lose. I'm not afraid to tell someone no, but at the same time, I'm always going to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And I know everyone else here on this, on our station at Capital Mortgage Funding is very passionate about the same things, because we want to make sure that people are educated.
Girl, it's true. There's no doubt about that. And John Kolb, we want to piggyback on that a little bit, because I'll tell you, a lot of experience goes into buying a house and making it happen. John, give us a little bit of that lender paid PMI. Becky mentioned an eighth higher in interest rate. Actually, and Becky mentioned on the 15-year, keep your money in your pocket. Lender paid PMI. It's just a great, great loan. And you got to know these options out there if you're going to be a homeowner.
Yeah, I mean, you just have different options for different types of mortgage insurance dependent upon what you need, right? If you need to keep money in your pocket, then the LPMI might not be the best way to go. But if you're putting 15% down, the monthly is going to be really, really cheap anyways, and you're probably going to be out of the PMI anyways in about a year and a half, 2 years. So you got to just do the break-even analysis based upon what's best suited for you and what you're trying to achieve. If you got some money burning a hole in your pocket, maybe it makes some sense to pay a point to buy the rate down a little bit. or do the LPMI to get yourself out of mortgage insurance. You know, you could go on and on and on and on. So everybody's situation is a little bit different. Make sure you're dealing with somebody like us, where we have all the options available to us and we have the experience on using those options,
including asset depletion loans. Boy, we got a lot to share with families out there. ReMax, Kyle Lang, you're on the line with us still. Consumer sentiment towards buying a home got low. Yeah, there's no doubt. We even had that caller call in. She's bummed out, getting overbid on houses, competition extremely fierce. And not only are you up against all these first-time home buyers with no inventory, you're up against every investor, every landlord out there. Someone
So
got their
true.
mouth wet, Becky, last year, 2 years ago. They bought a rental. The rent keeps going up, up, and up. You might want to get in the market and hook up with Kyle. Kyle, a couple of helpful tips. Maybe throw one more at us here before we let you loose.
Yeah, well, the one thing that, you know, Amy had spoke about earlier is she doesn't want to pay over the list price. You know, the market dictates what a house is worth. Us as agents and sellers, we don't dictate what the house is worth, right? So I had a client a couple weeks ago. Well, I'll pay 10,000 over, but I won't pay $12,000 over. And I was like, that logic doesn't make sense. First off, I mean, the difference between $12,000 over and $10,000 over, that's like a large or a medium versus a large at McDonald's once a month, you know, and what you'd be paying.
Yeah, that's for
But
sure.
but you know, you can't think of it that way. Look at it as the house. Does this house match the criteria for where you want to be, the location? Does it check enough boxes for you to make it work? Because like you guys said, if you're going to be there for 15, 20 years, it's going to be worth $100,000 more than what you pay for it anyway in that time frame.
Let's roll out to Harry Glantz here, and we're running out of time. 248-539-9797 if you want to sneak in a phone call. Harry, sort of your last thoughts on today's show is last week here, we had a couple different buyers. People are making some crazy offers on homes. We called some agents. Houses are gutted, Harry. They're in the middle of construction jobs. Boy, you got to really step back and get some more professionals on your team, get more knowledge behind it. Just don't sign your name. Can you comment on that a little, Harry?
Yeah, that's true. We have clients that are going in, they're looking at houses and they're not telling us that the house inside has been reduced to rubble, and they're buying the house and they want us to do it as is. Can't do it that way. I mean, you just can't. You have to do your homework up front. You can't expect to close that transaction in 30 days. So what you have to do is you have to get your ducks in a row, set everything up properly, and get it done the right way. Also, Harvey and panel, what happened to the myth that millennials weren't going to buy homes? Remember that? Oh, they're going to rent. They're going to live in college dorms forever. You know what? That dispelled that myth. Listen, everybody when I say everybody, I apologize. People want a place of their own. Sooner or later, they're going to get out of college. They're going to get out of living with 6 or 7 people. They're going to want their own place. So there goes the myth that millennials didn't want to buy properties, because millennials right now are driving the home prices higher.
And their parents are helping them out. They're saying, get out of my backyard or my house, and I'll give you the extra 15 or 20,000 to make it happen. 248-539-9797. Like I said, if you want to sneak in a phone call. Becky, last words.
What Harry's described, I call it hitting the birth lottery, right? Where it's like mom and dad want you out of the basement. So they're like, here's your down payment. I mean, God bless everyone that has that kind of situation. I mean, we're here to help you, and you're absolutely right. I mean, it doesn't matter what age you are, first time buyer, second time buyer, 10th time buyer. If you want to buy out of state, we are here to help you. We are a nationwide lender. Okay. We are a very large lender, but we're also going to give you that small town feel, meaning that you're going to be able to talk to us. We're not the man behind the curtain at the Wizard of Oz that you only see us every once in a while. We literally speak to our clients every day, all day, and we are here to help you any way, shape, or form we can.
John Cole.
Yeah, I mean, we appreciate the opportunity to help whoever we can. Like Becky said, we're not always going to, try to steal you away from your other lender if you've got a better option going with them. Very few and far between that we come across those, but we always are going to give you free, honest advice to make sure that we're doing the right thing. And you know what? Just keep going. Get with agents like Kyle that are going to be able to get out there and write offers the right way and accept offers the right way. Really important that you know who you're dealing with in the team that you have.
I'll say this, and then we'll go to Kyle for his last thoughts here. And of course, we got sports all day long on 97 on the ticket. Definitely still, if you can't find that house, call Capital Mortgage Funding. Why? We'll make sure that the one you're staying in is all set up the right way for you. And boy, we love that amortization chart. Get with us. If you're already paying extra money each month on your mortgage, by reducing that term to a 20, maybe a 15 or a 10, you can save lots of money. Boy, I did one this week. We're going to have this house paid off in 7.6 years. I just met these clients and gave them a 30-year fix not more than 3 years ago. So a lot of success stories out there. Get with the real professionals. Stop chasing what you think is a low interest rate. It's not always about the interest rate. It's part of it, but closing cost, interest rate, the service, and better yet, if you're buying a house, deal with the local professionals. You'll never get your offer accepted. And more importantly, you might never close. So definitely more professional people. We've been doing the show for 21 years. You play back the shows here for 21 and a half years. We predicted a lot of good things. And again, we're humble about it. We're here to help you and make sure that your transaction goes good. Kyle, real quick, go ahead, wrap yourself up.
I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially my mom and
I'm out.
my wife. And sorry, Harvey, had to take your thunder there. I think I did
No,
this
you got
last
it.
year too, and I missed them. So no, just hope everyone has a great weekend and best of luck out there in the housing market.
All righty. Thanks a lot, man. That's Kyle Lang, ReMax Green Properties out in Northville and the surrounding areas. Man, he's the king all around those areas. What a great agent. Great to have you on always, Kyle. Thanks a lot. Call Capital Mortgage Funding. That's right. For the rest of the day, 248-5 over at the office. Whoa, 1-800 low rate, the best mortgage banker. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. That's right. There's Pat Caputo. He's coming in. He'll wrap it up.